22 my whole career. I would love to be Flash my whole career. That's humanly impossible, in this game. So to be around, to stick around, you have to find a way to change your game depending on the team, the style, the times, and everything.
Kevin Durant of the Oklahoma City Thunder looking ahead to what's coming up after the All-Star break.
It's definitely exciting just knowing that where we came from and, two guys on the same team who work extremely hard. I see how he works every single day. For us to be at this level is amazing, and it shows that, if you put in hard work, you can get whatever you want.
Chris Bosh of the Heat going to miss the All-Star game with a calf injury. He's been replaced on the East roster by Al Horford of the Hawks. Top 25 college basketball. Halftime has number 22 Kentucky on top of South Carolina, 41-27. John Calipari ejected less than 3 minutes into the game. Halftime with number 10 West Virginia leading TCU, 41-22. Providence, number 20 in the land, they're on top of Georgetown, 49-29 at the break. Halftime finds number 25 Wichita State trailing Northern Iowa, 38-27. Basketball Hall of Fame announcing 14 finalists for enshrinement. Shaquille O'Neal among the notable names. This is NBC.
This is KCAA.
Here's all you need to know. There's a new cool way to sell your unwanted stuff online. It's buysellmakeoffer.com. Buysellmakeoffer.com. You're not going to believe it. Join the legions of web sellers and buyers who are turning to buysellmakeoffer.com today. Never pay fees again. For low monthly membership of $7.95, you can sell up to 50 items, and there's a 60-day free trial membership to get you started. You can even produce your own infomercial to sell your products and upload the video for the world to see. Go right now to buysellmakeoffer.com.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jim Rinaldi. For this morning, a clear sky, sunny today, high 84. Mainly clear tonight, low 52. Sunny skies and breezy for Sunday, high 86. Mainly clear Sunday night, low 52. For Washington's birthday, sunny and very warm, high 88. Another very warm day Tuesday with sunshine, high 88. Sunshine, capable of a passing shower Wednesday, high 82. That's your weather forecast of this hour from KCAA, 106.5 FM and 1050 AM. The stations that leave no listener behind.
In 2007, very few were able to benefit from the housing market crash. Since then, major banks like J.P. Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and Deutsche Bank have been very quietly investing in what we consider to be the bank's best-kept secret. In fact, they have already amassed around $240 billion ready to move. We're talking H2O. You know, water. It's now considered the most valuable commodity on Earth, and it's finite. To find out how you may be able to make money with it, call for a free report. Dial 1-800-379-5302 and just say, "Send me the free water report." It's that easy. Even ex-presidents are invested in water in one way or another. By 2030, it's estimated 40% of the globe will suffer some sort of water scarcity. This is your chance to help the environment as well as potentially bank some nice profits. Get a free water wealth report now. Call 1-800-379-5302. That's 1-800-379-5302.
If you're trying to prevent a home foreclosure, you need the Goodman Law Firm on your side. Goodman has a nationwide network of foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman Firm has resolved troubled mortgages across the nation. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Call the Goodman Law Firm, 888-800-6030. Or contact them online at www.arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Si usted está tratando de evitar que su casa sea hipotecada, usted necesita al Grupo Legal Goodman. El Grupo Legal Goodman consta de una red nacional de abogados, expertos en hipotecas capacitados para representarle durante el proceso de mitigación de su hipoteca. La firma Legal Goodman ha resuelto casos difíciles de hipoteca en toda la nación. Tome el control de su situación hipotecaria hoy mismo. Llame ya 888-800-6030 o contacte al Grupo Legal Goodman en línea arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Hey there, sports fans. Chabdog here. You have tuned into one of the best shows on the air for all of your up-to-date sports coverage and news. You haven't laughed so hard and been informed so much until you've heard it from the mouth of the sports expert himself, El Chabdog.
All right, welcome to another edition of Chabdog Sports Talk, a weekly sports talk show sponsored by Chabner Law Firm, providing transactional legal services for Southern California. Chabdog Sports Blog, providing head-of-your sports headlines. We cover all the major sports. And the Arnold Goodman Law Firm, mortgage mitigation legal services. Call them if you have a distressed mortgage situation and want some good advice on how to deal with it. Okay, well, nice to be back post-Super Bowl. There is life after the Super Bowl.
There's always life after the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's always sad. It's kind of like New Year's for me. I don't know. It's kind of the end of something. But we'll talk. We're going to talk more about it on this show, just to detox, kind of vent.
The good news is pitchers and catchers report. So
yeah.
Baseball season's not far away.
I know you're all hyped up for that. We'll be talking about that for the next few weeks, and then of course there's April Fool's Day when Major League Baseball returns.
Absolutely.
So we got another contributor on the line here. Thank God, Eric Sove. Eric.
Hey, Chabdog. Hey, Mike. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yes. Thank you for calling from wherever you are. If it's a cathedral or I don't know where. Where are you?
But I want to know. I want to know how the Tom Likas party went.
Oh, he wasn't at that one. I don't think. Were you there at Tom Likas, Eric?
Oh. I had an invitation, but I had something else going on. Couldn't make it.
Oh my God! I didn't.
Well, you should have called me and gave me the invitation.
Yeah, that's for wild single guys like you, huh?
Absolutely. I go hang out with Tom and drink a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hilarious. I want to echo Chabdog's comments there about the feeling of loss. I mean, we get that in between the championship games and the Super Bowl. You have that 1 week just to prepare yourself for that, to fill that void.
Yeah.
Well, and now it's game time. We have to somehow fill the void for the next 203 days until we have NFL football back. And we do it every year, but every year I'm sure you find yourself like me, like we're confronting this once again anew. How do we live through this?
Yeah. What do we do with ourselves? Well,
you always have to have something to look forward to. So right now you have March Madness coming up. You got in golf, you got the Masters coming up in April. And you got baseball season, which is 162 games.
Can we indulge a little football here?
Sure.
I want to play this clip that Deion Sanders did where he was talking about our friend Cam Newton. Joe, can you play that clip?
It was very profound. Not only the guys that inducted to the Hall of Fame, but Cam received NFL MVP. Do you understand what that means? You're the most valuable player, the most valuable person, the most valuable individual that we have in our league. You are the face of our brand right now. You can't do that. That's true. I understand.
Okay, you can.
Emotions of losing.
You can cut it, Joe.
Do that.
So I was really struck by that because I thought he hit it right on the head there. It was not just that the guy lost and he had a hard time dealing with it, but he was in such a high place going into the game, and then to exit that way, it just didn't look right. And he's the guy that does all the fancy dances when he scores. I don't know, Eric, what did you think about that?
I thought it was much ado about nothing all week. I mean, Cam Newton showed us who he is. Yeah, that when he's high and he's big, he blows it up, and when he's on the losing end of it, he's a little girl. I mean, I don't know. My eyes didn't deceive me, but to call him out on it, you can, but what's the point? We all got eyes. We can see what he is.
Well, maybe he'll change. Maybe next year will be a little different. I don't know, but it didn't look
maybe
like.
Maybe he won't.
Well, I guarantee if he had won, he'd be right up there at the podium and sitting there and answering every question he was asked. I think, immaturity to a certain extent. You need to be a little bit more professional and understand that you're representing your team, your owner, and you know what? Sure, when I used to lose, I'd be upset, but I was never a professional athlete, so you would think that they had been coached and schooled enough to be able to sit there and answer the questions.
Yeah, it does make you appreciate Peyton Manning because he does get in there and he answers every question after he loses. Now, we have another perspective here. My producer, Joe, just said he lost the Super Bowl. Cut him some slack, guys. So maybe we are being harsh. It's a big stage, though.
Well, we've seen other coaches and players, walk out of press conferences because they weren't pleased with the outcome. So yeah, maybe you give them some slack.
Well, Joe, thanks for your participation. But and Eric,
what about the all to do about Eli Manning's when they captured his look?
I saw that. He didn't look too happy.
Well, but then he came out and said, and in this world of social media nowadays and everything instantaneous, he came out and said, well, I was just concentrating on the next play because the game wasn't over.
Did you notice that, Eric?
Oh, yes.
I mean, I thought I was
see it a mile away. I mean, he had this look on his face like somebody just made a horrible fart in the room.
What was that all about, man? They're brothers.
Well, they are, but there's times when he doesn't. You're just not thinking, and you're just showing. Your body's just reacting as it normally would. You're watching a car crash. You're going to have a look of horror on your face. That was the look he had for that moment. What does it say? Well, their whole rivalry thing, brothers. Now they both have two. Now he's not. You can't hold that on him. But when you see these guys doing their TV commercials and how much fun they have doing that, it's just part of the game. I wouldn't be that way with my brother. I don't have a brother, but I wouldn't be that way with my siblings. But that's me.
Well, and it's not like he is polished enough to know that he's like on the red carpet the entire time. So, he's just reacting to the situation. It's not like, I don't think it was, hey, I'm rooting against my brother. Like he said, he said, I was just looking to see what the next play was going to take.
It just seemed kind of abnormal. I mean, it just definitely wasn't the thing you see from parents when they're watching their kids play, and usually from siblings. It was more, I'm not real thrilled about this.
Yeah, well, that's the impression you can take away from it, but I don't think that was the intent at all. I think he was just kind of in the moment, and maybe he was zoning out a little bit. I mean, it's a long day.
Eric, are you watching college basketball today?
Yes, I am, and I've been sort of boning up on it here. Yeah, in the absence of football, you're looking at Villanova, Maryland. Hey, USC's number 17.
That's right, and they just lost to Arizona State. It was a little disappointing, but they're much better than they've been, and they've got a great coach.
Have you been following what's been going on over at Louisville?
I was going to say, what's up with Louisville?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time, but why don't you tell us the latest on the escort-filled excitement
it's the sensational latest old news. Well, Rick, they've voluntarily taken themselves out of the tournament, even though they've got a pretty high ranking over the stripper scandal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Katrina Powell's book coming out and saying that she was being paid to throw strip parties. Get this, providing sex for parents and guardians.
What parents and guardians?
Sounds almost certified by the state.
Tour, please.
Yeah, another black mark on Rick Pitino. I mean,
yeah, well, Slick Rick will slide through, I guess. Right. He seems to have that Teflon quality.
All right, Eric.
Well, this lady, so one more quick. This lady they hired, she had her 3 own daughters stripped for the players as well.
Well, that says a lot about a parent, doesn't it? And that tells you a lot about.
2 of them had sex. She had 2 of her daughters do sex.
Talk about effective boosters. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
all right. Well, we gotta go to our break, don't we?
We're going to take our break, and Eric, if you'd like to hang on the line.
Yeah, hold on, Eric. Stay on the line.
And you're listening to Chabdog Sports Talk at Kcaa 1050 AM and on 106.5 FM. We'll be right back.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Check out my sports blog, your home for head-of-ear sports headlines. At Chabdog, we cover the world of sports, from NFL to competitive eating. At our blog, you'll also find Chabdog's own brand of uniquely original blogcasts for the major sports events. We hit home runs with our coverage. We also have a reading room where you'll find interviews running across the sporting spectrum, along with our vote questions, our Chabdog Gnostications, and of course our much-beloved Chabdog of the Month. What you can count on from Chabdog is our stretching the playing field envelope to find the humor, irony, and weird connections that are always living beneath the surface of the sporting world. Check us out at chabdog.com. The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. We are San Bernardino Strong.
Okay, we're back for the second segment of Chabdog Sports Talk. And we've got a special guest now from the East Coast. And I'm glad to have you. So glad to have you back, Dad. You there?
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hello. Hi, Brandon.
How's it going? And where are you in Boca, right? Or Vero Beach. Vero Beach. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Are you on a golf course?
Not yet. No, we had a little trouble last night with a car battery, which we had to fix. We had recent car troubles, but it's fixed.
Yeah, my dad's a big golfer, Mike.
So how you doing?
Yeah, we're doing well. We have nice weather here, but I was looking at those pictures from Nantucket. Those are beautiful pictures of the house with all that snow.
Yeah, it's nearly buried in snow. It's sub-zero this morning.
Well,
we're luckily in Vero. Yeah.
Well, we don't want to rub it in, but it's about 85 out here for the next 7 days.
Yeah, I can imagine you're probably taking off all your clothes and walking around in swimming suits.
Mm-hmm. I did tan a little bit yesterday.
And Dad, I've got my friend Eric on the line too. Eric, you there? Right? Still there?
Yes, I am, and it's an honor to meet you, Mr. Chabner, and be on the radio with you.
He's actually.
So Eric, you're in Boston.
Eric's actually my friend from the Detroit area. He's in, he's in southern Canada, but near Detroit, and
I see.
He's a business. We have a business. We've known each other for quite a while. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's
Calling from South Detroit today, where it's 5 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow. What's the discussion today?
Well, we're going to talk some about the Celtics. I think that's worth talking about, don't you? They're
I love
games
the
over,
Celtics.
9 games over 500 or something, and
Yeah.
third in the East. They're making strides with all those people that they brought in last year when we thought Danny Ainge was going crazy because he was getting rid of everybody.
Yeah.
So I guess people must be talking about that there, right?
They are. Well, now that the football season is over, the disappointment is sort of in the past. We're now focusing on the Bruins and the Celtics and even the Red Sox coming up. But still, the Celtics are exciting.
Yeah.
They played a wonderful game against the Clippers 2 days ago.
Yeah, I saw that. It was 139 or something, 139 to 134.
139 to 134 in overtime. Yeah. And, this is a very gritty team. They come up with the key baskets when they need to. They win a lot of games in the last couple of minutes.
Right.
And, they don't have any one star. I guess Isaiah Thomas is close to that. He's an amazing little player. But they share the load, and there's a lot of talent on that team. A lot of defensive talent, actually. I was surprised the Clippers got 130 points. It was an overtime. I think this game competitive. They beat Cleveland last year. They lost 4 straight in the finals, but this year they just recently beat Cleveland, and I think they're a better team this year.
Yeah, and you like their coach. I know that.
Oh, I think he's wonderful. I followed him. He coached at Butler, and I grew up near Indianapolis, and I was really impressed with what he did there. He had, he didn't have great talent in Butler, but he made the most of it.
Right.
He was a great teacher.
Eric, are you familiar? You familiar with that, Eric? With him, the guy that coaches the Celtics?
Yes, I'm certainly familiar with them and
Yeah.
Celtics' colorful owner. And
Is he?
just wondering, Mr. Chabdog, do you have any news on the potential trades for Carmelo Anthony or Kevin Love?
Well, I haven't heard anything about that. They need a big man. They certainly can. But, the interesting thing about the team is that they function very well with a small lineup. They're very fast. They're terrific on the size. And so they made up a lot of ground against the Clippers with a very small lineup. There was one point where there was nobody in the lineup that was more than 6'6", and they were beating the Clippers to the ball every time.
Really? It was the speed technique like the Warriors use, I guess.
Yeah, and they basically play 10 guys. So I don't know how Carmelo Anthony will fit into that scheme.
Yeah.
They could use another shooter, no doubt, but their problem hasn't been scoring points. It's really, just sort of melding the team together. And I think they are coming together in the last month.
I think they should look at that guy at Sacramento who's a terror inside, DeMarcus Cousins. They had a big guy that could score reliably inside and rebound.
Yeah.
I think that's more important than more points from Carmelo, who doesn't like to play defense.
And defensively, they can use that too. They do get overmatched, so the big centers give them trouble. But I like the team. They're fun to watch. They're never out of a game. They're usually very competitive, and they have a lot of strategy at the end of the game. They made up overtime against the Clippers. Made up points in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, that Cleveland game they beat Cleveland was amazing too. I think they came back from 5 or something.
And the problem with getting Carmelo is I don't know that there's enough basketballs on the floor to satisfy him, and I don't know how that affects the team chemistry.
Boston doesn't take well to guys with big egos, and that is sort of the problem that I see with him. I don't know if he'd be happy there. In all of this sports, the only guy who plays it a humble act is Tom Brady. But aside from him, very few guys get away with it. They have to be sort of humble and team players. And the sports writers are merciless against guys that have big egos.
What about Manny Ramirez?
Oh, well, he was such a flake. I think that everybody was entertained by him.
What about
But they did get tired of him.
What about Big Papi?
Well, he's a team player.
Oh, Big Papi. You know, he's such a happy guy, and he's involved in all sorts of things in the community. And
listen, you haven't really been at a baseball game until you've been there and seen Big Papi spit on his gloves and slap him.
I see it on TV all the time.
And then looks up at the sky when he crosses home plate. I'm gonna really miss that, Dad. Are we gonna survive after next year when he's gone?
I don't know. There's pretty good young players coming up. Nobody quite like him. He's an entertainer. He's the Donald Trump of this.
Eric, do you like Big Papi?
Oh, nobody can replace Big Papi. Yeah, there's some good players coming up, but he's unique. He's maybe a once in a generation.
Yeah.
Just, the muscles and the neck and the bat swinging and just smacking it out of the park and just ruining some other team's day over and over again. Oh.
Did you Boston fans see that they transformed Fenway Park into a ski jump?
Really?
Yeah.
I want to see a
well,
picture
you know
of this.
something. Yeah, you know. They have to make money in the off year, and how are you going to do it? They have a ice hockey game there too in the wintertime. People are freezing their tail off, but they go.
Yeah, but they transformed it. They put this ramp over Pesky Pole, and I guess it was higher than the lights at Fenway.
Kidding.
Like 140 feet, and these skiers they slide down this thing and jump, and then you land, and it looked to me like a little postage stamp area to land. I just saw a little blurb on it on the TV yesterday.
Well, yeah. I once went to an Olympic ski jump in Japan and got up on top. They had a ride to take you up on top where the skiers take off. And if you look over the edge, you don't see the slope. It is so steep that, it's at such a sharp angle, you can't even see that there's any, it looks like you're jumping into thin air. I don't know.
It sounds like
I can't
bungee
imagine
jumping.
people having the courage to do that. It's really frightening.
Well, there's a movie coming out about Eddie the Eagle, the guy that went to the Olympics, wasn't really qualified to participate, but he managed to keep it, alive.
Dad, do you have any health stuff you wanted to talk about? I know that men's health is a concern for you. I mean, you're talking.
I was going to mention the stuff about everybody sitting and watching TV this time of the year and getting no exercise. And so, we were talking about, well, what can we do to improve our health? And it's just the basic stuff about blood pressure and weight, watching your weight, particularly obesity being such a problem now in the United States. I just finished an attending rotation on the medicine service at our hospital, and I can tell you that maybe, half of the patients that were admitted had complications of just being overweight. High blood pressure, disease, diabetes, even cancer is more of a problem for overweight people. My advice would be, as you watch games, lift some weights, do some exercise, and vegetables.
Okay.
Stuff.
And not just remote control pressing and.
Any advice on other than a quality diet? Any supplements you would recommend?
Well, vitamin. I take a vitamin every day. I take vitamin C because I don't want to get colds, and particularly for people around kids, it seems like it helps. Other supplements, you got to be very careful. We admitted a guy a couple weeks ago that had taken. There's something now that's very sort of a growing popularity among young people called the it's Kcaa, I think.
Ketamine?
It's a supplement, Khatom, and it comes from the leaf of a plant in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
And the Thai people chew it because it's a sort of stimulant, and it has some sort of qualities like opioids or narcotics, so it sort of substitutes for other kinds of drug abuse. But what happened with this guy is he developed liver failure, and it turns out if you look into the literature, there's not a lot about this, but it's been a finding recently. So you've got to be very careful about using unusual things from some of these herbal shops and other street medications.
Okay, Dad. Well, yeah, let's put that in our minds when we're watching the commercials.
Maybe that'll reach somebody here that'll change their choice of supplements. Otherwise, the most important
supplements aren't regulated by the FDA, are they?
No. Well, if they're food or herbal supplements like teas, they're not regulated. So unless they start causing consistent problems, they can be circulated. There were some things coming from China, some teas from China that contained estrogens. So men were taking them and getting breast enlargement.
Mr. Chabner, we got to cut you off. We got to go to break.
Yeah,
you're listening to
Okay.
Thanks for calling and for being our guest, Dad, and say hello to Mom and everybody there for me, okay?
I will.
You're listening to Chabdog Sports at 10:50 a.m. and 106.5.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Check out my sports blog, your home for head-of-ears sports headlines. At Chabdog, we cover the world of sports, from NFL to competitive eating. At our blog, you'll also find Chabdog's own brand of uniquely original blogcasts for the major sports events. We hit home runs with our coverage. We also have a reading room where you'll find interviews running across the sporting spectrum, along with our vote questions, our Chabdog Gnostications, and of course our much-beloved Chabdog of the Month. What you can count on from Chabdog is our stretching the playing field envelope to find the humor, irony, and weird connections that are always living beneath the surface of the sporting world. Check us out at chabdog.com. The Law Office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
All right, we're back. Second half Chabdog Sports Talk. Jeff Nielsen, you on the line.
How's it going, Chabdog?
Hi, Jeff. Oh, good. Yeah, we had a little beach music for you there.
Nice.
Jeff is another one of those Southern California dudes, I think, right? Did I describe you correctly? Are you born and
raised in Southern California, South Bay.
Oh, nice. Did you go to Miracosta High School?
went to North Torrance High School.
Oh, okay. I don't know much about the area. Are they a big rival?
North Torrance is right down the street, probably about 5 miles away from Maricosta. They're all intertwined in that area. There's 4 Torrance schools.
Okay.
And then Redondo and Maricosta.
Well, I got Mike Patterson, my co-host, in the studio.
Nice.
And then Eric Sauve is also on the line. He's a contributor, and he's a big football fan. And Eric, this guy, I was sitting in with Jeff, sorry, and we were talking about the game, and this is before the game happened, and he basically laid it all out as it was going to happen, and true to form, and I should have taken his advice.
Yeah, I knew that going in, I'm a big Raider fan, so the last thing I wanted to cheer for was the Broncos. But I had seen their defense pretty much all season, and I just knew that their defense was just lights out. It's hard to block DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller, and then Wolf on the inside. That's just tough.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing that I noticed with the Bronco defense, the way they handled Cam Newton, was they let their ends kind of contain the outside. And normally you would think that you would have a spy on Cam Newton because of his running ability.
Didn't need it.
But what I thought was they had more of a spy on the running back.
On C.J. Anderson?
Yes.
But he got 90 yards.
No, not on C.J. Anderson.
Oh.
On the Panthers running back.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, I reversed. Okay, so yeah, the Panthers didn't do great on the ground, but Cam Newton actually got like 45 yards on 6 carries, so he was getting some yards. But my sense was from hearing him that he was not looking forward to running on those guys, and he did not like the risk of getting hurt.
Well, but not only that, but I mean he rarely got outside of the pocket to make a throw, so that's why he got sacked 6 times.
He didn't get outside with a lane. Yeah.
Right. I mean, there was pressure on him all the time when he was outside.
Yeah, Eric, what do you think? What do you think about this? Do you think Jeff had it on the mark? He basically said the AFC was underrated and that Denver's defense was just tried and true and too tough.
Eric, are you there?
Eric?
Yes.
Well, I was just checking with you about Mark's about Jeff's assessment of the fact that Denver's defense was so tough, and also the fact that the AFC was underrated.
Well, Jeff was 100% right. That defense, Wade Phillips and the ends pinching in and shutting down the running game, which basically made put Cam in a drop back passer role, which is their least effective offense. And then the man coverage, then if all the men are because of the man coverage, he couldn't do any hot reads because everybody was covered downfield. So no wonder he was having a tough day. He was 18 for 41. Now 265 yards isn't bad. That's like 120 more than Peyton Manning, but only 18 under 50%. I didn't see the passer rating, but it couldn't be all that good.
No, I don't think so. Because they had those 2 lost fumbles. That really killed them. I think those are the biggest plays.
Yeah, and the controversy was about how he didn't dive in for that ball.
Well, I told you. He admitted in the interviews that he didn't want to hurt himself, and there was a bad angle. I mean, I really heard somebody say that. Have you ever heard anything like that, Jeff?
That's pretty crazy. You don't want to give an effort because you're afraid to get hurt. Well, then
that's not what the general's supposed to say.
Exactly.
Jeff, you're a volleyball guy, right? So you dive, you dive, you get on the floor, you get on.
I'll dive into a wall for the ball.
Exactly.
I want to win every time.
Mm-hmm. You're a competitor.
Exactly.
And you're not. You really can't be totally effective if you go into a competition with that worry.
Well,
I mean, it has to be.
It says a lot of
instinct to protect yourself at the last moment, maybe, but
it says a lot about his character if that's what was going through his brain when the ball was on the ground. As a player, you dive after that ball. I don't care if there's a 300-pound lineman, coming on top of you. As an instinct, you go for the ball. You can't be thinking about your next contract.
So, Jeff,
you'd think so, but we were talking about Carmelo Anthony in the last segment, and I think it's just different thought for the prima donna. When I played football, there was no question. I wouldn't even think about it. Probably get flattened by a truck doing it, but the prima donna thinks differently.
They're making too much money.
Well, I'd hate to be an NFL or NBA coach and knowing that all my players make more money than I do.
Yeah. Well, volleyball doesn't quite have that problem, does it, Jeff?
No, they play for the love of it, most of them, because they have to have an actual job. They remind me of the old school 50s NBA player who had to have a part-time job in the off season because the NBA didn't pay him enough for his whole year.
What are your prospects for the Olympics? What do you think? Are the two gals from the United States, are they back together, and are they going to compete?
No, it's April Ross and Carrie Walsh is the team to beat right now. Misty May is retired.
Okay.
So she's done, but Carrie's going, and it looks like they're going to have a really tough team to beat. They look like they're the number one. April Ross is a beast. Jumps out of the gym, all over the floor. She's really good.
And what about on the men's side?
You got Phil Bauhauser with going back with his friend Nick Lucena, and they're the top team right now.
Okay, and what about indoors?
Indoor, the men they're kind of questionable. The women are going to be really, really good.
Is Coach Kcaa still coaching the men's team?
He's coaching the women's team.
Oh, he's coaching the women's team. Okay.
Yeah, and they got a lot of studs on their team.
So Jeff, now that football's over, what is your prime attention directed to?
I'm loving the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Got a good competition. College basketball is hot and heavy. I even like going to high school basketball games. I just love the sport of basketball.
And who's your college team?
UCLA.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they had a rough time last night. I mean, they looked good for a lot of the game, but at the end they just kind of wilted.
You know, the ESPN came out with its 100 greatest players this week.
And yeah.
I think everybody is so in love with Jordan, and Jordan was magnificent. But to me, there can't be a number one without Kareem at number one. Guy's undefeated in high school, 88-game win streak in college, 3 national championships in college.
The unblockable shot.
Unblockable, most points in the history of the game.
What
blocks and rebounds.
Where did Bill Walton end up?
The biggest mouth.
He was in the 20s to 30s.
Yeah, because I mean he had a pretty incredible record with Coach Wooden.
Battling Bill Walton. I remember him from the Celtics when they won in '86. He was on that team.
Exactly.
Hey Jeff, how about Charles Barkley?
Love Charles Barkley, man. Round mound to rebound. He was in the top 10 for power forwards, and then he was number 16 in ESPN.
Yeah, talk about the mouth.
Anybody on that? Can you think of anybody that wasn't on the list that should have been?
You know, they had it pretty well covered. I didn't think Kevin Love deserved to be in just yet, or Marc Gasol made it. I think their careers are still up in the air to me.
How about that guy? How about Pete Maravich? He must have been on it, right?
Yeah, he's on there. He was in
and Jerry West.
Jerry West
that's a given.
In the 20th.
Yeah, Eric, you got any players you want to quiz him about?
Well, Charles Barkley was my one.
Charles Barkley. No old Detroit Pistons like maybe Bob Love, or no, he was a Chicago Bull.
Bob Lanier though.
Bob Lanier was in there, right?
Yeah. What about he was an undersized center for the most part. What about Bill Russell with his 11 rings?
Bill Russell was number 6.
Okay.
Well, the top 10 was Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Duncan, Bill Russell, Larry Bird, and then the top 5, Wilt Chamberlain, Magic, LeBron, Kareem, and then Michael Jordan was number 1.
No, wait, did you say Kobe?
Kobe was not top 10.
Oh.
But now were we talking
that
about
hurts.
Are we talking about NBA or are we talking about college?
NBA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
ESPN NBA ranked all-time players.
So Kobe was like top 15, right?
Kobe was 11.
Wow.
All right,
Shaq
fellas.
made the top 10.
We're up against the break.
Okay.
Hey, Jeff, thanks for calling in, and definitely keep following Chabdog Sports Blog.
Thanks for having me, Chabdog. I appreciate it. It was nice talking to you guys.
Nice talking to you, Jeff.
Say hello to Bill for me at Smack Sportswear, a great company for volleyball apparel. Check
if you
it
guys
out.
need anything for volleyball, you're out there. Need club volleyball, indoor, beach volleyball, call Smack Sportswear. Thank you,
Okay.
guys.
All right.
All right.
We'll be back to finish this up.
Yeah, you're listening to Chabdog Sports Talk at KCAA, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
It's got running. Now they're starting to run. It's got kicking. The crowd willing him on. Killjoy. Well, he might kick it anyway. He has. It's got bone-on-bone hits without pads. No, it's not rugby. It's Australian football, although you might hear it called Aussie rules or even footy. This is Australia's biggest sport and is now played professionally by 18 teams in the AFL. It has the 4th highest average attendance of any domestic sports league in the world. These are some serious fans. What do you say we talk basics? Aussie rules is played on a football field probably bigger than any you've ever seen, with an egg-shaped ball that takes some crazy bounces. Each team consists of 18 players on the field and 4 on the bench. Tremendous athletes, these players are basketball-sized with the hands and foot speed of an NFL wide receiver and stamina greater than a soccer player.
This is interesting. It's a main event in any stadium in the world.
The game starts with a center bounce, a bit like a basketball jump ball. The basic object of the game, like American football, is to move the ball down the field and score.
Wants to go all the way from 45. Collier gets it back within a goal.
You can move the ball 3 ways. Running, but you have to bounce it every 16 yards. Using your fist to hit it forward. This is called a handball, another skill unique to Aussie rules.
Nice running. Ellis was involved as well. Crosstime started it all and drills it home.
And of course, the most common way is kicking it.
And one's full forward. Oh, terrific.
Like a quarterback using feet instead of hands, these guys can hit a teammate on the run at 50 yards. If the kick is a little high, a player may have to jump and make a spectacular catch. This is called a mark.
Oh, look at that. No! He took his armchair with him and set up on top Nick Natanui.
And believe it or not, you can use the opponent as a springboard for jumping. If you take a mark, you can keep going, or you can stop on the spot and take an unimpeded kick.
Glorious kick.
Once in scoring position, the idea is to kick the ball through the 2 large upright posts. That's a goal and worth 6 points.
E-Digits. Lock them in for more information, recreation, and guaranteed fun. KCAA.
Back for the last segment of Chabdog Sports Talk. I hope you enjoyed that last promo about Australian rules football. It's an interesting game, and that ties in with our next guest, Mike, whose name is Duran Raman. Did I pronounce that right?
That's pretty good pronunciation.
Yeah. Do you like the Duran Duran music?
Not really.
It's not your.
Like the book, not too bad, but yeah, everyone sort of refers to my name from the rock band, I guess.
Yeah, you probably heard that before. I guess
my school teachers used to say it as well.
I should have played some AC/DC maybe. Do you like Australian heavy metal?
Nah, not really into the heavy metal. I'm a bit of an all-rounder with music.
Oh.
Just whatever sounds good at the time, I'll listen to it.
Yeah, his accent sounds good.
Are you currently based in Australia, or where you live now?
Yeah, I'm based in Melbourne, but the last few years I've been just travelling the world, just trying to see as much of it as I can.
Nice.
Yeah, this guy's guy is an athlete. Who he's built. I met him, and if all the Aussie rules football players look like you, that's one hell of a game.
Oh, look, I'm probably one of the biggest sides. There's different positions. Like, you've got your smaller guys and your big guys as well, but there's even bigger guys than me. I'm only about 6'3", 115 kilos, so say 250 pounds. There's even bigger guys, like NBA side. Yeah.
You're how much, 215?
Probably about 250, 260 pounds.
Oh, you're
usually
260.
6'3", 260.
Wow.
You could play tight end.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I met you in person, and I'm usually. I didn't think you were. I mean, you look like you're in shape, but I didn't think you were 260. But
I'm probably carrying about 20 extra pounds of fat. That's probably why.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be 260 playing weight. That's for sure.
I'm a wee person compared.
So,
to that.
how long did you play the game?
Well, I played since I was 10, and I pretty much retired at the age of 21 because my last 4 or 5 years was just constant injury after injury because it's such a tough sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't wear pads or anything, right?
Nah, we don't wear padding or anything, no helmet, no shoulder pads like the American football.
This is a wild game. It's
very tough on the body. After a game, you literally can't move.
How would you describe it? I mean, I've seen it on TV, and it's interesting to watch. I could never figure out what's going on, but how would you describe it versus rugby?
Oh, it's completely different to rugby. It's sort of like a mix of like basketball, soccer, rugby. They're all sort of combined. It's got a bit of everything. American football, sort of like the toughness of it, but it's very different. I reckon Americans would actually really enjoy it once they got to know how to play and how to kick the ball.
Well, you said you had.
How do you kick that egg-shaped ball?
Very carefully.
It's very easy. It's pretty much like the NFL players when they do like a punt kick, except you just drop it from your hands and you kick it straight.
Uh-huh.
Right, but it's like a drop kick. It has to hit the ground, right?
No. You don't have to drop kick it.
Okay.
You can just kick it straight to your foot. So it's very easy. Once you practice a few times,
Well, there's been a few Australian gentlemen that have succeeded very well as punters in the NFL. So makes sense.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. I think there was a recent one, Jared Hayne or something, started playing NFL as well.
Eric, you have any questions for Ramon about the Australian rules football? Maybe about the betting aspects of it?
Well, actually, Ramon, first, it's an honor to speak with you. And secondly, I wanted him to describe a little bit more about the differences from NFL football and specifically that kick. Because that kick, Ramon, in Aussie rules football, you're purposely turning the ball over there so you can go down and pound on the other team instead.
Look, it's pretty much like, imagine playing basketball, but with an NFL football, where you can pass it with your hands and you can also kick it.
Yeah, you can pass you're passing it with your foot sometimes, right? You're kicking it to somebody?
Yeah. So basically, you got to get from one end of the field to the other to score. So say soccer, you've got like the goals on one end. So you can work that ball all the way up to that other end, whether it's by your hand or your foot.
Yeah. You can hit the ball,
that's
too.
where the basketball side of things, where you can pass with your hand, or you can do a long kick and kick it 40, 50 metres, because the field's about 150 metres long. So it's very hard to get from one end to the other.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
That's a long haul.
Plus, you can run the ball for like 15 yards or something without dribbling it. Is that right?
Yeah, and then you got to bounce it, and then you can keep running. But usually you'll get tackled because as soon as you get the ball, it's so fast paced. So basically, like with NFL football, every time someone gets tackled, the play stops. With Aussie rules, everyone gets straight back up and you keep going. There's none of this where you got to stop the whole game. Everybody, like, I watched a little bit of it, but it just stops all the time. Whereas Australian football, it'll just stop for a couple of seconds, you get ready, and then you got to go again.
So if you get tackled, it doesn't change possession. It just means that now you got to.
Yeah, if you lose the ball and it spills free, well, anybody can get it. It's a loose ball.
Right, but if you
get tackled,
if you have possession of the ball and you get tackled, then you get back up and you start the play over again.
That's right, because then if you get tackled with the ball and you get caught holding it, well, then the opposition gets the ball and they'll kick it straight back to their side, and now you've got to then chase them. So it's sort of a bit of like catch me if you can. Once the other team's got the ball, you got to get them. So you can go from defense to offense
Eric,
in a split second. So it just never stops, man. It's intense.
You got to, Eric. You got to see the video on YouTube of this where they show players. And did you ever? I don't know if you ever did this, Duran, but did you ever jump up and basically catapult yourself off the body of a defender to catch the ball?
Not really. I used to sort of just mark out in front of me because I don't have the leap to get up that high. But I reckon basketballers would be able to get up, no worries. But
yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy
though.
On you. I mean, some of the way they're leveraging off of other people.
Well, and can you leverage off of not only the opponent but your own guy?
Yeah, you can. As long as you don't use your hands to sort of hold yourself in their back, you can. If you can get your knees on their shoulders and mark the ball, well then yep, it's your ball. So pretty much like a slam dunk, like with basketball, but you're catching the ball which is coming at you instead of a basketballer sort of slam dunking the ball.
And there's 18 players on each side on the field at the same time.
Yeah, it's a crowded field.
It's a massive field. We've got big stadiums that hold up to like 100,000 people. So yeah, no,
sounds like
if you actually watch a whole game, I reckon everyone in America would enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like
I think you're right because there's lots of action. It's always going on. There's no stops or very few stops between plays. And there's a lot of fluidity back and forth, and not thuggery, but they smack. It's a man's game. They smack.
Without being biased, it's probably one of the most exciting games to watch and play.
Duran,
but that's obviously
Duran. Do the refs? Why do they wear those weird outfits?
Sorry, the weird what?
Those outfits are really funny looking, though. The refs?
Oh, they're not too bad.
They wear this little pointy hat. Have you seen this, Mike or Eric?
I have not.
And I don't know. It's a little different.
How many refs on the field at any given time?
I think there's about 3 on the field and about 1 on each boundary line. Just if the ball goes out, they got to throw it back in.
Yeah, and it's
big. So, whereas in basketball, if the ball goes out, the opposition team gets to throw it in. With Aussie rules, the umpire then throws it in, and it's a free ball again. Whoever gets it, gets it. So it's always a contest, basically. To compete for the ball and contest for it.
So the referee can have an influence on who gets the ball depending on how he throws it?
Well, no, because he's not facing the field. He'll throw it over his head.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but otherwise, so it's just an even playing field. He's throwing it over his head, and you just got to read the ball, and then as soon as the ball gets there, you got to contest for it and tackle and do whatever you got to do.
So for our listeners, if we wanted to watch this sport, can you recommend any particular site or?
Well, probably YouTube would be the best. If you just typed in Australian rules football on YouTube, I'm sure there'd be heaps of videos. There'd be heaps of highlights. Even if you type in Australian rules highlights, you'd sort of get a glimpse of the game. And then if you sort of enjoy what you see, you could then watch a whole game, which goes for about 2 hours, because there's 4 quarters, 30 minutes per quarter. So it's a long game. So
yeah, I was going to say you guys have to be in shape to run that length. And
definitely. Well, it's longer than soccer. Soccer's 90 minutes.
Yeah, Eric.
Eric, this is 120 minutes of getting bashed, tackled, and running all. Yeah.
Duran, maybe I have to have you in on a broadcast with Eric and Mike if you want to do it, where we talk about the game while it's happening.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly reckon a lot of Americans, if they're tough like they are in American football, I'd love Australian football. It's even tougher.
Yeah.
There's no padding as well.
And this guy's you're an MMA fighter too?
Yeah, I've been doing MMA for about 5 years as well, but that's just sort of as a hobby. I'm not sure whether I want to pursue a career in it. But
we're going to have you back because we didn't get through your entire bio, but it's very impressive. And
gentlemen,
thanks
we got to go. Duran, thank you for your time.
No worries, guys.
All right, thanks. And thanks, Eric, and thanks to all the contributors to this show. And Joe, great job on the production. And we're still giving Cam Newton a chance.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
The NBA All-Stars will be shining this weekend in Toronto. I'm Brian Weber. Let's hear from the marquee names. Steph Curry of the Warriors put their record-setting first half of the season in perspective.
It's been a good year so far, and there's been a lot going well. When you only lose 4 times in, 51 games, it's hard to nitpick, but we have a big picture mindset as a team.